What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome in. Hold on. Alexa, lights on. It's better. How's everybody doing? Alexa, stop. I was not talking to her. Anyways. Yeah, today we're going to be working on Lured In. I know I said I was going to get that update out Wednesday or whatever, but you know, then my hard drive died and all the stuff, so it's okay. We're going to work on getting everything ready though. So one thing I want to work on today is the backgrounds of the minigames. I'd like it if we could do make it reflect the current rarity of your fish. So I'm gonna mess with that. So Woolbed, welcome in. Oshi, Grey Moose. Yeah, welcome in, everybody. So yeah. Anyways, let's get started. Also, I will say I have to end stream a little bit earlier today because I'm cooking. I have meat that I have to go check on. So we'll be doing 3 hours today instead of the usual 4. Yeah. And not like 3 hours where I say 3 hours and 30 minutes. Like I have to leave like right at 3 hours. So anyways. So let's get started. Okay. So one thing I've been meaning to do for a while, we have the like backgrounds now for the fish panels. I'll show you guys. Wait for it to load up. I did add some more rare fish. I'd like to do a bit more. Okay. Time to lock in. So, if you catch a rare fish, right, it has this funny background here. And I want to basically put that into the minigame so you know when you're about to catch a rare fish. Because I think it's like a fun little like, oh shoot, I gotta be ready to go, you know? So that's what we're gonna do. Should be pretty easy. I just copy this background color rect and then I'll change the border theme. So let's go into all the minigames. I don't think it's going to take very long. Nope. Did it not copy? I guess not. Copy. Paste. There we go. So this is going to go behind everything like that. Boom. We're just going to keep going around and doing all that. So WF. I don't know, unless I just do this procedurally. Not procedurally, but you know what I mean? Like, I just do it with the code. Maybe I'll just do that. Be a little bit easier. So minigame, we just say on ready. We're gonna add the node. Colored background is a type of color rect. Wrong thing. And we're gonna say var Oops. Color background is equal to preload. Let's go save this as a node. Call it colored. I'll call it rarity background. Okay. Rarity background. Add child. Color background. Instantiate. Cool. What? I have to like close this script and go back in. There we go. Okay, so oh yeah, let me reload my audio interface, by the way. So now, depending on the rarity, that's how we change the color here. So I think it's just in ready. Rarity info. Let's just get all of this stuff. It's hard, guys. So sparkles, we don't want to be visible. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Yeah, and I'm actually going to have to dynamically change this, so we're going to do this. So we're going to do it in start because we pass in the fish ID. So that's where we do all this stuff. The items table .get new fish ID. So we pass in the rarity. Don't care about that right now. And then we're just going to say colored background. You know, modulate stuff. Okay. So that should be it there. So that's going to set that background. Let's not worry about the sparkles right now. Then we also set the theme type variation of our panel. So that should be it. Should be done. Oh, the only thing though is I had to move the child to the beginning because right now it's going to be a little bit funny. Back and ready. We have to say whatever move to front. Below its siblings, move to back. Move to back is not a thing. I'll just do move child. Colored background to index 0. And that should be fine. All right, so let's just go try it out. We're gonna try and catch a rare fish. It should be doable now. So let's just wait. Now, how does this work? Okay, I'm just using modulate, so that's completely fine. Let's go to the pond. There's the koi here. Let me, before we start doing this, go get a bunch of bait. All right. Let's catch a rare fish. I did mention in the changelog the new backgrounds, right? Let me go make sure. Excuse me. Breaking placing sounds. I don't think I did. Okay. Regions. Thank you, Remus. Okay, let's get that guy over there. Boom. Any second now. Okay, there we go. Come on, rare fish. So that's an issue where it still shows up for other things. We have to fix that because that was a common fish. So pretty easy. I just need to make sure that it only shows up if it's actually not common, right? So if it's not equal to common, I do that. So I just need to say that is equal to 0. Oh, you know what? Let's just say visible. Oops. And then also I'll just say that on the ready, I guess. Doesn't really matter, but... Alright, so this should look good now. Let's try it out. So no background because it's the common fish. But now if we ever catch a rare fish, it should show up with the cool rare background. So yeah, this will be nice because it'll just be like a little thing for the player, like, oh shoot, this one is important, you know? And maybe also later on we can start kind of assigning like difficulties depending on the rarity of fish. So if you're catching a rare fish, the minigame becomes more difficult. Just so you kind of have like an incentive to get better at them. So... Carp. Let's get another one here. Still haven't gotten any rare fish. They're still rare. I mean, it's not like they're extremely common. I do want to work on the chances for the spawning of those fish, because right now it's kind of unbalanced, so... It is so hot outside, it's 92 degrees. So I need to make it where, like, it's like a flat chance for common and then a flat chance for rare instead of it being like per fish or whatever. Because the problem is if I if I add in another rare fish, it just kind of immediately changes the odds of all of the other fish, right? So it's hard for me to like add in more variety without screwing up the game constantly. So we need to fix that. Didn't catch one fish. And that's part of the issue is like I need to make it so... Anyways, let's go do that really quick. So we're gonna go into global, and it's like where we say calculate fish something. Drop chances. Calculate drop rates right here. So what we're doing now is we're basically just saying if it's rare, chance is 10. If it's legendary, chance is 3. Otherwise, set it to the weight. And that's not like such a great way to do this, so I think I want to change that. So we need to essentially get a list of all of the common fish for a region, right? I think that's how we want to do this. Now it's a little complicated because the way I do it here is I'm looping through each fish, right? Instead of looping through each region that has fish. Say, Two Socks, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, it's tricky. I don't know. I wonder if I should just like change the way I store the data on this, right? It's possible. I sneezed a little bit ago. Thank you. Yeah. How's it going, Simplink? Yeah, it's going good in here. I'm just working on I want to improve the way that the rarities are calculated for different fish. I got to figure it out. How's the Minecraft sesh? Yeah, it went pretty good. We had to swap our hoster over to a one with a better CPU because when I was doing it on OVH Cloud, it was extremely slow. So yeah, I made that swap and it's going good. Yeah. It was a little frustrating at times. That's okay. Let's see. So I'm just thinking how I want to do this, because, like, I guess what we could do, honestly, is instead of what we're doing now, is we have different tables for each of the rarities of fish. And then I just pick one from those. At the beginning, I decide what rarity of fish am I catching. But the only issue, there could be some problems with that. Like, what if we don't have any rare fish in a region or something? Then it's like, it'll just break. So, I don't know. It's a little bit complicated. Legendary. I mean, I guess the other solution to fix this problem is just make sure I balance the number of fish for each region, right? So, like, I could add another rare fish into the pond. So we can go look at what kind of fish we have. Start at the top. So for the pond, we have goldfish, minnow, bluegill, and carp. So that's 4 common and only 1 rare fish, right? I think that's part of the issue. I got like a little bit on my finger now. It's being annoying. Okay. Did you manage to find out why your script for converting audio file formats didn't work? Audio file formats. Trying to remember, when was I doing that? Script for converting audio file formats. Oh, I think that was a while ago. Might remember what you're talking about? Yeah. I don't know. Can't remember what I ended up doing with that. I think did I get it figured out? Yeah, when I added the songs to Lure in, right. I honestly can't remember. I probably have that script in the files here. Let's go look. Do I have it in like the music folder or something? It's not in here. Yeah, I don't even remember where that file was. Yeah, I can't remember. I might have figured it out. I think I just kind of... Oh, I think what I did instead is I installed a program to do it. I can't even remember what the program was called. Yeah, but that worked out, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get it to work with FFmpeg, it seemed like, or I think it like wouldn't. There was issues when I tried to put it back into Godot. Unless I had it. Where did I have that? I think it was on my desktop. And I think it's in like lured in music folder or something. Lured in shorts. Lured in tracks. Oh yeah, and then I have the Python script here. I mean, it looks like it worked. I have OGG files here. Are they readable? I mean, that one's playing. I don't know. Maybe I did figure it out. Unless I did use that program. Instead of this. I honestly can't remember. I'd have to dive back into the script and analyze what I actually did. There's so much stuff that happens every single day. It's really hard to, like, call back on stuff like that. Anyways. Yeah, I was curious about what was preventing the script from working. Yeah, I can't remember, honestly. I'd have to go look, like, watch the stream back to remember what was going on there. But it was something. So do we have rare fish? Okay, so we got 2 rare fish there, which is good. The ocean has no rare fish, so that needs to be adjusted. So, yeah, that's a little disappointing that the ocean doesn't have a rare fish. And there's a lot of different pelagic fish we could do. There is that one that's cool. This guy. The mahi-mahi. Or we could do an oarfish. That'd be cool too. So this is one option. And then we've got the oarfish. Oarfish is a big guy. Oh. Yeah, we could throw this guy in. Swordfish when? Yeah, I do need to do that also. I think they're pelagic. Yeah. I'd probably do the blue marlin or whatever, though. Not the actual swordfish. Because I actually put this guy in, like, the art of the game. Pacific blue marlin. So. Yeah, if you look at the art for the game, like the background, you can see him over there. So. Yeah, maybe we'll do that guy. July 17th, guys. It's coming up. 5 weeks. Alright. So I guess let's do an oarfish. I'll probably do it kind of shaped like this. Because if he's like just fully sideways, it'll look stupid. Kind of like how the eel is, you know? I'll show you guys. Gotta open up Grida. Oh. Come on, Grida, open up. Yeah, coming to Steam soon, yeah. Crazy. Alright, so how big should this guy be? He's gonna be pretty big. I'm just gonna make a big document. Oarfish are pretty enormous. Then let's go back into Layered In, sprites. So, what are our references here for scale? Definitely it's gonna be sort of like the eel. But he's gonna be big, like the arapaima. So we'll throw these 2 in. Move him there. This is your first game? It is not my first game. I have previously created Starground. And it's still in progress. I'm gonna be cycling back to this game once Layered In is out. So yeah. And this Starground's actually my second game. My first game was Pogo Rocket, which was a complete failure. But yeah. Any thoughts on Godot Con? Oh yeah, I saw that. That's coming to Boston again. I believe this is the one. It's July 21st. So I'm probably going to be pretty busy. It's not a great time for me to leave during Layered In's release day, or like around like that weekend. So it's cool though. It's just so expensive. You know, like I think the ticket is like, the ticket is 100. Okay, well I guess this one. Oh, but it doesn't include workshops and everything. So like the normal ticket is 150 bucks. And that's just the ticket, right? I mean, there's cool speakers and stuff, but then I've got to pay for the flight. I've got to pay for hotel. You know, it's like, oh my god. So go. So after all of that, if we add it all up, you know, it's just so expensive. So 150 bucks for the ticket. Then the flight is probably going to be like, it's usually around like 300 bucks or something like that, but it's a little bit further this time. I mean, the flights I've usually gone on are close by. So I'm assuming it's going to be more like 400, maybe 500. Plus 150. And then if we're talking like it's 2 days, I'm going to need at least 2 hotel rooms. So that's like probably 100 bucks a night. So like it's going to be, and then I have to eat food and stuff, you know, and I also have to pay to like get down to my airport, you know, gas and everything. And like another, you know, 100 bucks for food probably. It really starts to add up, and we're looking at like almost over $1,000 probably by it once everything is over and done with. So it just gets, I don't know. I probably would go if this was like a time where I was free and didn't have anything going on or something, because it's cool. It would be very epic, but I don't know. It's just too expensive. Can't afford it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day. Call for speakers. Maybe I can become a speaker, guys. Featured speakers. Tips and tricks from 9 years of making games in Godot. Sub-reports. Think about the playtesters you can find there. All of them are devs, so they suck as playtesters. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day. Get this. I'm sure there's going to be another one someday, so I just wish it was a little bit closer to me. Boston's kind of far away. Like, if there was one in Denver, that would be cool. I would absolutely go. There'd be no question about it. Or even one in California would be even closer to me. But all the way over in Boston is far away. So, I don't know. National flight for 150? No, it's not 50. Sometimes you can get really cheap flights. Like if you go to Vegas and you don't bring like a carry-on and stuff, you can get like a $100 round trip flight, which is crazy. But of course it's a bad experience, but it's fine. No, there's stuff like Papa Rocket, but we don't talk about Papa Rocket exactly. Also, Robert on a whim, welcome in. What are we working on today? We are gonna be drawing an oarfish. Not like this. What is this tool? Is this a rock tool? Whoa. That's kind of cool, actually. I should, like, use this, you know, to make rocks and stuff. Pretty neat. Anyways. Undo all that. Yeah, we're gonna add in a new fish, just work on a couple more little minor things, and then get an update ready to go. So... playtesting person sucks because you don't want to give negative feedback to someone's face. Yeah, exactly. It's not usually great. The oarfish is enormous. It's even bigger than the Arapaima. 36 feet. Considered inedible. Okay. Oarfish. Weight? How heavy are they? 600 pounds. So they're pretty heavy. Did the starter do well? Don't mind me asking just in case. Oh, it's all good. It did. It did. I mean, overall, I would say it was a success. Obviously, it's not finished yet, so we'll see what happens. But, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I didn't make like loads of money from it or anything, you know, obviously, but it was still enough to be cool and nice and convenient. Definitely helps. But yeah, the big thing from Starground is I learned a lot, you know, especially about multiplayer and also what to avoid, as per usual. I think one thing that was problematic with Starground was the fact that it became too large, too big of a game. Because we had, like, so many different games in one, you know? It's a fishing game, and an automation game, and a dungeoning game, and it just gets to a point where it's like, oh man, this is too much work. So that's kind of definitely a success in terms of what I've learned. I'd say moderately so in terms of financially. But yeah, I think we'll need bigger tanks for the oarfish. I do want to tackle that soon. I'm gonna wait until probably after next fest for the full launch to start doing large fish tanks and stuff like that. So I just don't want to implement something that doesn't really need to be there for the demo. How long did it take to develop and reach release? Well, the thing with Starground is that it's early access, right? So it's not like technically fully released yet. That's also something I've learned about releasing games is I don't think I'm going to be doing early access anymore unless I already have a game that has so much momentum behind it that it's guaranteed to succeed in early access, you know? But it's been just such a pain with early access. I've been shackled. I'm like, I have to finish this game, you know? And that sucks. So I would say don't do early access. It's not worth it. It used to be good in the olden days of Steam, you know, 10 years ago. But these days, I just think it's not worth it anymore. So, but yeah, development time for early access was like 8 months, but then development time after early access has been very long. Basically, ever since August 19th. So I've been working on this since like, it's been 2 years now of development. So yeah, it's a lot. I'm excited to finish Starground and be done with it forever. Not forever, but you know, at least a while. Oh, you'll be adding fish eating each other in your tanks. Maybe. It's hard to say. I don't want to punish people too much for putting fish down because that could kind of suck if you come back and realize all your fish are dead. So I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be doing that or not, but it's a possibility. Maybe we will. So we'll see. Okay, let's make the oarfish. So, how does he look? He's pretty big. That's tricky because I need to like write something like that. Probably like this. We can start shaping it now. Their faces are like weird. I don't even know what's happening here. They've got a weird face. And they have like a thing here, and they have like a chin. Got like a nub here. That's gonna have like this long strandy bit for some reason. Okay. Then as it goes out to their tail, it gets thinner. Early access is great for games that have future support plans. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the kind of game, you know? I mean, even in cases like that, sometimes I still don't know if it's worth it. Because you look at some of these early access games and people have been waiting decades sometimes, you know? And I've seen it, like, I think it's mainly not the problem is not from the player's side, but it's from the developer's side. Because I've seen so many games in development that are early access and the developers get completely burnt out because they're stuck on this one project for years and years, you know, and it just starts to become not fun. So yeah, it's tricky. It just really really depends on your game and exactly what you're wanting from your project, you know. Are you looking for a super long-term project that you're going to be locked into for years, or do you want some more freedom, you know, some more agility? That's really the thing. Early access isn't always 100% the wrong decision, but at least for me, as just like an indie developer and stuff, and usually a one-person team, it's just not worth it for me. And the big thing I think that's always important is like the motivation. Like if early access if working on one project for a long time is going to make the game hard for you to develop, then it's never a good idea. So this guy does have pretty long spiny things here. This will be fine. Let's see. If your game's package demo would be fine. Yeah. What are your thoughts on doing desktop companion games in this day and age? I mean, they're fine. I don't know. I see a lot of them around, and like personally, I'm not a fan of that genre of games. Because I don't like having stuff on my desktop that's like taking up space. So, you know, I'm not the right person to ask, I guess, when it comes to that. It just depends. If it's a type of game that you think you would have fun making, then I don't see the problem, you know? Might as well give it a try. So, but at least for me, I don't think I'm gonna do it. Like, Lured In had that potential to be a game like that, right? Where I could have made it like on your desktop, and it was a thing that I initially thought about, like maybe I could do that. Do I want to? But I think over time I decided like, no, I don't think I actually want to do this anymore. So, because it's kind of hard. You got to work with like OSs a lot and stuff, you know, which is not fun. This guy has such a weird mouth. He's got like this part. And then up here, it like goes like that. And he's got like a nose up there or something. Kind of like that. This guy's creepy. And then he's got like another little segment here. Sort of like that. And some like some gill lines. So this one has lines going that way, and the lines over here go the other way. Kind of like that. All right. And then he's got these spines all across his body. Anyways, let me see everything else in here. Sometimes early access is a great way to keep the lights on for a big project. Yeah, it just depends. I think as long as you have a lot of momentum going into it, that's the thing that really matters, I think. Because otherwise, it's just, you might as well just fully release the game. But, you know, again, it just really depends. Like, what are your goals as a developer? How big is your team? Do you need immediate funding? Or can you wait for the full launch and probably have a much easier time? It just depends on everything. No right or wrong decision. If you do an early access game, only add graphics to the game, the hype dies. If not enough content, people won't recommend. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with early access, is you've really got to like continue updating constantly, and it's as a game developer, it is a pain. You're shackled, you know? I did a video about it, a short. And it's just like, yeah, you really are stuck. Because you can't just abandon your game. That's how you get bad reviews. So yeah, I don't know. Part of me wishes I could abandon Starground, right? Because I just don't care. I don't have the passion anymore with Starground to like continue. But I don't have that luxury. I can't just throw my hands up in the air and say, oh, I'm done, guys. Because, you know, people have paid money to play the game, so I must finish. Alright, I think this is pretty much good for the oarfish. He is going to be a big guy. I mean, the player is like, what? This big? Maybe he's too big? I could shrink him down a little bit more. We'll see. Let's see. So I don't want to work my backrooms game for the rest of my life. Honestly, at a certain point in time, I felt the same way about Starground, where I'm like, this game is freaking epic. I could work on this forever. And then now I'm realizing, oh man, I was completely wrong. So I think the thing is, it's fine if you're enjoying working on something, but leave yourself open, leave yourself an escape plan in case you end up hating it. Because it's fun in the early days when things are moving fast and you're making a bunch of progress. It always is. But the minute that you're getting into like long-term support and stuff, that's when it gets not fun anymore. So posted your project showcase in Discord. Let's go. I'll check that out. How's the scene on selling your IPs? Is there a market for that, like with apps? Like, so you make a game and sell the IP of your game? Is that what you mean? Guys are like 30 feet, I guess. So the player is 32. They're 6 feet. Let's say he would be like this long. So what's 128 divided by 32? That's 4 times 6 feet. That's about right. I mean, this is how big they are. I mean, you do look at these images of people next to them, and it's like, whoa, these guys are huge. You know? Like this guy. I mean, that's an enormous fish. Because the player is like this tall. Yeah. Maybe we could go a little bit smaller, probably. But not too much smaller. You know, I'll probably cut it there. That feels pretty good. Okay. Let's get rid of all the white. I'll have to fix a couple things here, no big deal. Let's see, this got broken. So did this guy. There we go. All right. Sorry if I'm not reading things fast enough. Yeah, like you sell the project to a new owner or dev. I've seen like people get like these garbage junk emails from this one company that offers to buy your game for $100. That's about the only thing I've seen in terms of selling IPs. I don't really ever think it's worth it to sell your IP unless you are, for some reason, extremely desperate for a small amount of cash. So I probably wouldn't bother. Honestly, the thing is like your IP only has value if you already have a very successful launch and are making money already, right? Otherwise, it's worthless because ideas mean nothing in the industry. Like, it is extremely important to work on a game that is a good idea, but in terms of like selling ideas, nobody cares. I would never buy somebody's idea unless I'm like extremely passionate about the idea and I spot it somewhere and I'm like, oh my god, this is the best idea I've ever seen in my life. Otherwise, I'm just not gonna care. So that's what I think. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's worthwhile. Because, like, what if you want to use stuff from that project in the future, you know? When you work on a game and stuff, like, it's really good to have all of those assets you created now. And if you sell your IP, well, then you're done. You can't use it. You can't use that stuff anymore, right? So I just don't think it's worth it. Unless you were extremely desperate or you, like, needed instant money. Or you're just done with the game or getting tired of it and, like, it is already a successful game and you're sure you can actually make money off of it. Just depends. Looking around, these guys are kind of like a cyan vibe, you know? They sort of have this, like, pattern to them. And they've got like these blue sections. I'll probably make the bottom blue a little bit different. Actually, keep a little bit of this here. So this bottom blue, I might make darker. Just to have the contrast. Oops. Is that one the bottom or the top? I don't even know. Let's see. I think like that. Alright, anyways, let me see what I'm missing here. Let's see, I want my game to have procedural levels extend in vertical directions infinitely. Okay. Yeah, so spend your time making content randomly distribute so you can make the whole experience, just wait for players to find them. Okay. Yeah, prefabricated authored rooms. Yeah, kind of the semi-procedural route. I think that usually works pretty well. So, yeah, could be cool. The only thing though is like tying your game to an IP like that is like, there's no way of knowing what the future holds for the backrooms. Like obviously it's hot right now just because the movie came out, but what is the backrooms going to look like in, you know, whatever, 5 years? Like, is it still going to be a cool, popular thing? I think that's one of the reasons I've always thought about doing a backrooms game, and I was like, man, that'd be cool to do a backrooms game. But I think that's sort of the reason I never tackled it, because I'm like, well, I don't want to rely on this, how popular this internet phenomenon thing is, right? Not that it's a bad thing. It can be cool. There are a lot of successful backrooms games, so it just depends. Okay, I need to transition this color down here, which is a little complicated. I need something in between these two. Gamedev shouldn't have sold Carlson's IP, but he should have given it to a trusted friend. Did he sell it? I don't even know. You need money for cheese, yeah. Hugsy, you've been welcome in. I've been developing a pixel game now for a while. When I get a computer, I'm gonna work on it more. Yeah, I imagine it would be very hard to work on games without a computer. I don't know how that would work. I mean, I guess you could do it on mobile, but yeah, that would be really tricky. Yeah, hopefully goes well for you. I need like a transition color here. I don't know what to use though. There's a gray, but it's like a little too dark. We have like green colors, but that doesn't feel right. Brown obviously doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know what to do there. Where do I sell my IP address? I don't know. Theoretically, what would be a reasonable offer if somebody approached you to buy Starground right now? Yeah, I'd probably say like... I mean, obviously, I don't know how that would go with the publishing contract. Probably wouldn't be allowed to. But if I was allowed to sell Starground, I think somewhere like... I mean, it depends on the terms of the agreement. Are we saying that I'm never allowed to use any assets from Starground ever again? Is that kind of the implication? That, like, I no longer own access to anything? Because it would depend on that for me. How do I feel about that? I don't really like that at all. Let's get rid of that all. Okay, so I wouldn't have access to anything. Yeah, it had to be quite a bit, for sure. Probably like $50,000. At least. If not more. Yeah, because it's really nice having your own assets, you know? You can be like, okay, I can just reuse this somewhere else. Yeah, like 50,000, assuming that I'm selling the full IP and I don't get access. I'm not even allowed to use my stuff anymore. Even music, well, this is the thing, like, it's a really complicated, like, it's not just the kind of thing where I'm like, shoot a number and I will accept, right? Just because there's so many different factors that go into it, like, yeah, with the music and everything, it's complicated. Really depends on all the details. But, like, for me, yeah, like $50,000 or something. Probably be fair. The Horfish have these, like, little dots everywhere. Sort of like this. Some of the dots are smaller. Anyways, let's see. Oh, you're saying he didn't sell it? Oh, okay. I saw the movie. I'm glad Ken Parsons didn't take my ideas. He went in a different direction. Oh, yeah. He definitely... What I liked about the movie was, like, it's exactly what he has already been doing on YouTube, right? But just with lots of budget and very produced and epic, right? I think that was a good move for him, you know? Like, tying... focusing on the things that he knows how to do well. So, I think, I personally thought the movie was really good. I don't know why there's some people that think the movie was bad or something. There's, like, people think he didn't actually direct it, which is really stupid. If anyone actually watched one of his YouTube videos, they'd be like, oh yeah, this guy's been doing this for years, so obviously he knows, he has a vision for what it should be. It's pretty clear. Yeah, I thought that whole argument was really stupid. the older gentleman or whatever. What else do I need for this oarfish? I think he's pretty much good to go. Their like front fins are usually kind of connected. I didn't realize. I'm just looking at like another image here, and they have like a mesh between them, you know, sort of like that. Well, I think this is pretty okay. I can do a little bit of anti-aliasing around here and stuff. Let's go ahead and outline it and then continue. Wonder if there's a market for reselling games. Just like buying an IP and relaunching the game. I don't know if Steam would even like legally let you do that, to be honest. Steam has a lot of rules for the platform like that are good because they protect garbage, you know, from happening like that. Like launching the same game. I mean, to be fair, there you could go the route of like a remaster and then that would be allowed, but you can't literally just like launch the same game. At least I don't think. We snooze this ad. Have you had any co-development projects? I mean, in a lot of ways, Starground was co-developed, sort of. I've never really had any where like it was an even distribution. If I'm being honest, it's usually like 90% me, and then tiny little bits on the side from other people. So I've never done one where it was like an actual even split. I mean, Deadlift is shaping up to be more like that way. Zach has been putting a lot of time into stuff, so I would say that would be the closest thing. Though I still am doing a lot of stuff, you know, all of the programming and the modeling and all the texturing so far. So we'll see how things progress with that project. Like, co-developing and stuff is cool, but it's really hard to find people that are so, as disciplined as I am, to be honest. Because, like, some people are like, oh yeah, a video game sounds cool, and they'll like help a little bit and then they just kind of drop the project, and that always happens. I can't ever find anybody that is actually like dead set on succeeding and making money, right? And that's one of the big hard parts about working with other people on projects is like you don't want to go into a project with different expectations, because that's when problems arise, you know? Somebody goes in just wanting to make a little bit of cash on the side, and the other person is like, no, I thought this was going to be like a big thing that we're going to work on for a long time, you know? So it's difficult. If the right person comes along, then absolutely. But I just need to make sure that, like, if I'm investing my time into something, that they're also investing their time. Right? That's always the challenge. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Probably do this color on the fins. Well, there's all those ones though. I'll do this color. See, some people buy failed games on Steam, put virus instead of the game. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. Okay, we got the fins in here. This here will be gray. Most of this stuff. So all the rest of this black, we will do this. Boom. I know it's messing with the other sprites. They don't matter because I'm not actually going to be using those. They're just for scale reference, really. All right, but I think we're pretty much here. It's really hard to tell even like what is going on with the mouth. I think it's a mouth, but I don't even know. It's just like a weird mess in there. Because there's like another segment or whatever. It is weird, man. Could go like green instead of blue, but the blue is kind of nice. Shiny. Shine mark over here. I do still wish I had a color to the anti-alias here. The gray doesn't really work. It's just not bright enough. You can anti-alias with the other colors, but it looks kind of ugly. I mean, like, I could anti-alias with that color, but it's just not a real color that's on this guy. It doesn't have any brown specks, so it's like, it just doesn't look right. I mean, honestly, maybe the pink kind of works okay as an anti-alias color for this blue here, just to sort of fade it in. I feel like that looks okay, personally, because it's going into like a warmer color anyways, like the neutral gray, so it kind of makes sense. Like, it doesn't look too out of place, I feel like. But I don't know, what do you guys think? How does that look? I think it looks okay. Fine. All right, and there's a couple sections where I want to do some apple path stuff. Like right in there. Oops. Select the right color. Just because this guy's so like curvy, I want to make sure that it looks smooth. Normally I wouldn't bother, but nobody else is quite like this guy, so I think that works okay right there, in my opinion. But you do have ads going on, my apologies. I could kind of make his eyes have like, but nah, we don't need it. All right, I think he's done. It's good enough. So this is the first rare ocean fish. He's gonna be pretty heavy. I mean, he is enormous. So we've also got to go ahead and resize the canvas. So 76 by 8. Like so. Oh, wait. Alright. Save him as oarfish. That's my other hard drive. I really hope I can fix it. PNG oarfish. Alrighty. So now we can go add them in. Down to the ocean, guys. So Mola Mola. Oarfish. So how heavy is he compared to something like a Mola Mola? Right. Mola Molas are very heavy. 2,000 pounds. So he's lighter than a Mola Mola. He's really more like the weight of a bluefin tuna, so. And he is rare. Oarfish. Yo, thank you for follow, I appreciate it. What is his description gonna be? Any ideas? Oh, yeah, it's over. Any ideas, guys? For the description of the oarfish. God damn, this is what it's I just bought the Pizza Doggy pack and that's on sale. Cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think what would be a good description for this guy. I don't know. What do I think of when I look at an oarfish? I already did fish the long way, unfortunately. Very long. Why do they call him the doomsday fish? I don't know. Steam does some checks, but I'm gonna be real, guys. It's kind of easy to get around those checks if you really wanted to. Because what you could potentially do is have them review a build of your game that is not the virus. And then just change your build to have a virus in it. So, a little scary. There are some scary things people can do with Steam. But, you know, if you ever actually put a virus on there, Steam will blacklist you forever. So, and like the thing is they need a lot of information to register a game, you know, social security numbers and addresses. It's really hard to like ever release another game on Steam if you really screwed up like that. Obviously, for liability purposes, do not make viruses on Steam. It's bad and stupid. Let's see here. I mean, it's always like the joke, you know, of like games being like Bitcoin miners and stuff, but some games actually are Bitcoin miners.
Let's make a crypto mining tycoon game that actually mines crypto for us as devs. We will be rich.
We'll be rich. Yeah, we should totally do it. I don't even know what to call this guy. World's largest bony fish. Apparently, it's often called the sea serpent. It is kind of really funny. Like, this is like some old drawing that somebody did, like 1600. It's just an oarfish. It's literally just an oarfish. They thought it was like an evil creature, you know? Which is kind of funny. 1860. That is indeed an oarfish. Whatever. The serpent of the sea. Time to go put in all this info. Go to components. Translations. English. String, oarfish. Type of long, large ocean. Got another one. That's how you spell serpent, right? Sure. Okay. Description for the oarfish. Did I ever add in like the other fish I added, like the rudd? I don't know if I did. I did not. Oopsies. Rudd. Rudd. Okay. This joke will not make any sense, unfortunately, soon. In other languages. We also added the smallmouth bass. String's been added. I think those are the only two guys I added so far. The oarfish to the ocean. Alrighty. Should we go see how this guy looks in game? Let's do it up. He's a big fish. Oh, and I'm tired, guys. Okay. You animate the big fishes. I mean, they will be automatically animated. You know, because that's how I do the animation stuff. One day I might go through a lot of these fish and make them, you know, better, like for the animations. So, but for right now, we're not going to do that. Where is he? I should have gotten him. Oh, there he is. It's big. So he does 208 passive per minute, which is pretty freaking good. So he's gonna do this little motion. Oh, what is he doing? Hold on. Swimming. Oh, it's because I said his like swimming animation factor really low, I think. Hold on. So I set that to back to 1. Let's try that. He should like wiggle back and forth, right? There we go. So yeah, now he wiggles around. There are some sacrifices I have to make. It's not practical for me to make a sprite that's like, you know, freaking the whole size of the aquarium. But at least this is like a somewhat of a compromise. I might lower the factor just like ever so slightly, because he is wobbling quite a bit. Move around, do something. Ooh. But it's fine for now. I do want him to be quite wobbly, I guess. It's fine. Okay, Oarfish is in the game. We've also got the other guys. The Rudd. He's a lake fish. smallmouth bass. So these guys are gaming. Cool. So that's 3 new fish. Should help at least. So let's keep trying to catch a rare fish. I think the place with the highest chance of rare fish now is the lake. So I'm just gonna go fishing in the lake for a minute, see if we can catch some guys. We'll have to see how the new rarities on these fish are, you know, because now it's like completely changed in terms of the drop rates. I do think that rare fish are going to be much more common, which is good. So, yo, Enrico, welcome in. How's it going? It's been a while. How are you doing? Alright, regular catfish. But it is stormy. It's good. These are a chance. Okay. Still not rare. You get it eventually. What did I miss the past few days? Not a whole lot of stuff has been going on past couple days. Yesterday we played Minecraft. But if you mean like a couple days, is in the past like couple months. Yeah, we've been working on Lured In a lot. Just kind of getting it ready for next fest on June 15th. Demo stuff mainly. What was the miss? Hold on, I'll read that in a second. What was the most difficult thing to add to the game? That's what you're saying. Okay. The most difficult thing in Lured In... Honestly, Lured In has been pretty easy so far. But if I had to pick one thing, I'd probably just say the tank preview screen in here, doing all the sub-viewport stuff and like converting all the things properly, and that's probably been the hardest thing so far. Otherwise, everything else honestly has been kind of pretty easy. So there'll be another demo or the official release date. June 15th is just for the demo. That's Steam Next Fest. So the demo's already out for Lured In right now, so. But then on probably July 17th is going to be our launch date for the full release of Lured In. So, yeah. Should be good. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. I am just kind of like, kind of testing the fishing out a little bit. I just want to see how common it is to get rare fish. Eventually we'll add in those lures that make them more common, so. But I'm just seeing if I can spot the new background here on any of these minigames. Hopefully just adding that background will actually work. Unless there's like any mini games that have like a weird setup. I don't think there are, but better check. Sometimes the fish are worth less even though they have a higher rarity. That's just because like fish from the later zones are just worth more at a base level. The way the rarity kind of affects pricing and stuff is that rare fish double the amount, like double the value of a fish, and legendaries I think are like 16 times or something. It's a lot. So that's sort of how it works. So if you catch a rare fish from the last zone, that fish would be just as valuable as the fish, as a common fish in the next zone, right? So like, let's say I caught a smallmouth bass here. It would be worth just as much as a sockeye salmon in the river. And also fish, like their values change depending on their weight. So heavier fish tend to be valued more. Same with their passive value too. Just because weight is like the limiting factor of how many fish you can fit in your tank, right? So a lot of tilapia. Still not catching any rare fish yet. We will someday. We can go see what our chances are for the rare fish. I might just be getting unlucky. I mean, this is the thing with like chances like this. You never know where you're gonna get. Let's go see what we have for that. So the potential fish that we can catch here are going to be the smallmouth and the pike. So we should be able to catch these guys. There's a 3% catch rate on both. So it means that we have a combined chance of 6% to catch a rare fish here. So after catching like 20 fish, you should, odds are, catch one. Right. And I could increase that chance a little bit more if I really want to. This is the problem with having like the way that we calculate the chances to catch certain fish and stuff. So I might change it. Rainbow trout. Will I ever catch a rare fish? I don't know. If I really want to, I can go into the code and just temporarily increase the drop rates of rare fish a bunch. Which should be fine. Oh. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So let's go into global. Calculate our fish. And I might even just increase the flat chance to like 15 instead for these guys. But just temporarily, I'm going to make it large. Like really large, so we're guaranteed to catch a rare fish, basically. We have to reload the game. Ow! Do you already know what the next zone will be? Oh yeah, there's gonna be plenty more. I think the next zone is gonna be a coral reef, because there's a lot of different fish that we can catch there that I think people would love to see. Stuff like clownfish and octopi, octopuses, sea urchins. There's a whole load of things that we can put in a coral reef like that. So many things. Yeah, so this is what it looks like now when you're about to catch a rare fish. It shows the rare background. So, seems to work pretty well. Let's try and catch another fish. Somehow I got a common. It's still possible. It's extremely low because I just have like 500% chance. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. Yeah, it works pretty well. And then a very small chance to catch a legendary fish. So. Alrighty. Oh, I need to fix my nail. It's like super sharp. I must have broke it somehow. Alright, so what do we want to do next? We got that working. There's a lot more things we could tackle if we really wanted to. Added catch rarity backgrounds to all minigames. I feel like there should be an extra reward for rare fish because it'll be useless when a new zone releases. I mean, that's fair, yeah. I mean, legendary fish are kind of like... Rare fish are not that rare. Like, they are rare compared to a common fish. But, like, I've significantly increased the chances now for this new update. So I think people are going to be catching them way more than they used to. Which is good. But it's always complicated. You know, this is the difficult thing about scaling like this, because I want people to feel like they're improving and getting better stuff, but then also it can be really hard to keep the older stuff relevant. So I think what I might do is implement like a leveling up system for these regions, so that if you spend the time fishing in a particular place, it starts to increase the value of fish that you've gotten from that place, you know? At least just a tiny bit. Because it kind of helps. You can be like, okay, I have a bunch of fish from this zone, so I need to get more experience with these fish or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of a design thing. I'll have to figure out how to tackle properly, right? Kind of like a pity system. Not really a pity system in the sense of like it guarantees a rare fish drop or something. But just sort of like a way to make older fish relevant, right? Maybe I'll do that through like a research or an ascension or something. I don't know 100% yet. We're gonna mess around and find out. Yeah, we'll see. If anyone has ideas, definitely let me know. Because yeah, the issue right now is like you go to a pond, catch a common fish, then you go to the lake, and now all the fish from the pond are kind of worthless to you, right? There's no reason to catch those fish anymore. So I would like to kind of fix that issue a little bit. Also, I want to add another rare fish to the pond. I don't know what rare fish would be there, though. Pond fish. Obviously, koi fish makes a lot of sense, but... I thought about doing albino fish. Maybe some kind of like bluegill. Small freshwater fish. Just want to look at some possibilities. We could do like tetras or something. These are all going to be aquarium fish. Yeah, what kind of fish would live in a pond? What fish live in small bodies of water? Yeah, minnows, Japanese rice fish. They look an awful lot like koi. Oh, they're really tiny, never mind. So they must live in water with rice paddies. Yeah, I just need to look at all this stuff. Like, what fish actually live in ponds? Mosquito fish. Rice fish. Shrimp, snails. I already have both of those guys. Here's a bunch. So it looks like it's definitely lots of goldfish. Minnows, which we already have. Danios. Rice fish. Loaches. Mosquito fish. What is a comet? Oh, just a type of goldfish. So that doesn't matter. There's Danios? No, not for sale. Oh, zebrafish. Danios. We could do a smaller, like, aquarium fish, like one of these, honestly. As like a rarer fish. Just want there to be more of a chance to catch one in the pond initially. Because what, like, were the chances I had before on this? If I go into regions table into the pond. So I had the koi as 10. So instead, now that he's going to be 15, it should be much more common. But I want to add in yet another rare fish. So. Most common pond fish. Obviously koi. Catfish. Sunfish. Bass. Goldfish. Shaboonkin. type of goldfish. These are probably old goldfish. There's a sunfish. But a sunfish is like basically a bluegill. Bluegill's a type of sunfish, I'm pretty sure. Oops. Yeah, I think we would look at this like they are a sunfish. At least I think. Bream, Brim, Sunny. Bunch of different names. Yeah. Sunfish. That's the thing with sunfish. They're like a whole group of different fish. I could add in like a rare variant though. Rare bluegill. A black bluegill. Whoa. They're very common. Okay. Because I could do like that route where it's like a variation of a fish. Herons. What's it? Muskellunge. Oh, that's like a pike. Very similar to a pike. Vertical bars. Yeah, copper-nosed bluegill, northern bluegill. It's all these different variants. Yeah, what other kind of guy can we... I mean, is there like such thing as an albino goldfish? Is that a thing? Is there some kind of fancy goldfish? There's literally, it's called fancy goldfish. Like there's these guys, they're kind of funny. Like we could do like a variation of a goldfish, you know, as a rare variant. That would be okay. I just want something else for people to catch that's rare. Yeah, these guys with like they have the funny like tumors on their head. We could maybe do that. And this guy, he's just deformed. But he's actually just called fancy goldfish. Oranda. Yeah. Goofy fish are these. They're funny guys. They're basically just a goldfish, but they have like this bulbous mass on their head. I don't even know what this is. Some of them look really cool, but then others just look silly. It's got like a mushroom on its head. It's just kind of a bulbous guy. Maybe some kind of like black one in a region like this could be cool. I guess they are commonly called fancy goldfish, which is funny. Yeah, we could do a variant of the goldfish. Why not? Should be pretty easy to draw. This is our normal goldfish. So we can give him like a big oops, bulbous head thing over here. Get a good reference. Still round. They're usually a little bit larger than regular goldfish, I think. Just split. 19, 15. They just have like taller fins and stuff. Sort of like that. I want to do the mouth. Kind of a bit tricky. For the coral reef, you could use the harlequin shrimp. Oh yeah, I can take a look at those guys for sure. So they have like the different color here usually. They're so weird looking. 'Cause they have this like bulbous thing, yeah. Oops. What am I? How to increase the vertical height? Guess not enough. Okay. Description for the goldfish should definitely be a chunk of their big head, yeah. I think it's because their eyes usually like more forward. Helps. There's some that just have like a cap. Kind of funny. I guess usually the eye is like sort of below the cap. So almost more like this. Right. It's more accurate. I need to like shade this to look right. Yeah, they're just so weird to have like kind of like that. References and stuff. Still have like their gills. Yeah, sort of like that. It's close enough. Alright, this and that. Tricky. What are your thoughts on making incremental slop games? What do you mean by just like cash grabs, basically? I mean, I always think like it's definitely a good idea to think a little bit about how to make your game interesting, you know? I think some people are just like, okay, I'm gonna make a game, and then just kind of slap some super generic thing together. Yeah, just click equals number, go up. Yeah, I think sometimes it can be definitely be boring. with lured in, that's kind of like one big thing I've always wanted to avoid accidentally doing is just like making some slop game that has no like substance to it. I think I've been able to avoid that, but you know, yeah, I think it's kind of, I mean, there's always going to be games like that, you know, with any genre. It doesn't really matter, where somebody just grabs some assets, just an asset flip, basically, right? So yeah, I think it's always, of course, developers should avoid doing that. I'm trying to think how I want to do this guy's fin. So he is red there. Just so I can see what's happening here, I'm going to do this. And then his mouth goes away. It's temporary. What color do we want to make this guy? Because the thing is these guys have so much color variation. It's like this funny guy. To see MMO 98? I did, yeah. I think that game, I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it's just the problem is that people went into this not understanding what the game was, you know? Because people were like, oh, it's an MMO, right? And then they play it and they realize, oh, it's an incremental game. I think that's part of the reason why this game got mixed ratings. I mean, it's pretty close to not being mixed. I don't think it doesn't seem too bad. But yeah, it is a little unfortunate. I mean, it can be frustrating sometimes, like putting a lot of work and effort into making something really cool and fun, you know, and then see people just like kind of slap stuff together. I'm not saying that this game is by any means, but you know, sometimes it's like, man, why should I even try anymore? Maybe I should just asset flip. But I think it always just comes down to integrity of the craft, you know. Man, Scritchy Scratchy has done crazy numbers recently. I don't know why it's been popping off so hard. Kind of crazy. But yeah. You know, money is cool and all, but I think the thing that is like more important to me is making a game that I'm actually proud of. So dude's called it slop himself, or the devs called it slop, yeah. It's kind of like the whole friend slop genre in a lot of ways, you know, where it's like everyone knows that it's kind of intentionally slop. Dude, I hate the mixels here. One thing I will say that I get a little bit tired of is games where it's just this, where it's like enormous skill tree. And to be fair, yes, Lurden has a skill tree, but like I break it up into different areas. You know, like we have upgrades are distinctive from the skill tree vibe. Like games where it's just this is every upgrade in the entire game is kind of like, it's overwhelming and annoying. It's kind of, I wonder if they do it on purpose so it kind of like appears like there's more content in the game than there actually is or something. I don't know. I like how Scritchy Scratchy does a lot of stuff here though, like where it's got like these are just like a separate panel on the side, and like there's upgrades here for your stuff, and then there is also the prestige skill tree vibe, but it's just better organized, I think. I don't like it when games have it in just one enormous menu. Yeah, it's snacks. Scratches your brain for a little while. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just get this guy finished really quick. Here's my reference here I'm kind of looking at. I don't know if I want to do one that's just pure black. Or maybe just make him white, honestly. I mean, the koi is pretty white, though, already. That's the thing. I have so much color variation. Yeah, let's make him black. Why not? Because, you know, we don't have any other fish like that, I feel like. So I think it'd just be cool. I have to make the mouth work somehow. Or we'll do something like that. And then we'll have like red as sort of the accent here, probably. I don't know if those like bulbous things are shiny. I have no idea. Maybe. Will there ever be a global leaderboard for Lured In? Maybe one day. It's hard to say, though, because it's like one of those things where people can just super easily cheat, and then the leaderboard doesn't mean anything anymore, right? Also, like, the problem is, too, is I don't want to force people to play online or anything. And I don't want to do some wacky, like, whatever, anti-cheat software in Lured In. It's primarily going to stay as a single-player game, I think, but maybe one day I'll do a leaderboard for fun. We'll have to see. I wonder if I want to like sprinkle some of this red in other spots. Just kind of looks silly. Well, you know what? This head should be dark too then. And I'll kind of fade it in like that. Don't know where that color came from. Oh, it was like that. Okay. We could make his eye white. That looks stupid. I don't know if I want to like try and make it look shiny. That's fine. I think it's good enough. Alright, so this guy's going to be a rare fish. Save him as the Ornata. Oops. Wait. Oranda. An Oranda. Okay. Oops. Goldfish. Copy him. Go down to the rare zone. Oranda. Should I call him a black Oranda? I don't know. Maybe. Well, I don't want to put colors and names because I might do like the whole skin system, so maybe we avoid that. So there's x.com dev for game dev stuff. I will talk about that in a minute. There's a whole scene there. I think it's mixed. In some senses it is, in others it isn't. What's the description for this? The goldfish. Goldfish with a funny looking head. So x.com. I think it works if you can like get somebody to notice your game. Like there's that one person that's been posting a lot of stuff, Indie Game Joe or whatever his name is. And like people that can work really well for some people. You know, he posts these tweets about just random games people make, and for some reason they just keep doing really well. I don't really know why they do so well or anything. Some of them do much better than others. Like this one didn't do amazing. It's not game changing. But then you look at some of these and it's like this one got over 1,000 likes, 59,000 views and stuff. So like, this is a good, like, if you can get Indie Game Joe to, like, this one got 12,000 likes, almost 500,000, you know, bomb banana.
About to explode.
So it depends. But I don't know if posting your own stuff works very well. It probably very depends on the kind of game, to be honest. Like, I've had a hard time getting any traction on any posts I've done about Lured In. Like, some posts do okay. Like, this one I announced, or I posted, and this was the Pitch Ya Game hashtag, which only happens once a year now, so it's not a sustainable thing. But yeah, it's just, I just can't seem to really get any of these to do particularly well. You know, it's always like under 1,000 views, and it's just not worth my trouble. So it depends. I think if your game is like very flashy, or it's very easy for you to show off wacky mechanics, then sure, it could work. But otherwise, I feel like most of the time, for me at least, it's a waste. The thing that works much better for me is content creation, short form content. Because these videos actually do well and get lots of views, so I don't know why this one did so terrible. That did really bad, wow. Why? I don't know. YouTube system is an enigma. But like the last one I did here, like I can get an easy like 8,000 views on something like this. You know? It's like with YouTube, for me, I feel like it's like achievable to actually get eyes on my stuff. But with X and Blue Sky and all that stuff, I just can't ever seem to get enough traction on anything. Like this got 32,000 people looking at this, you know, and that's a pretty sizable chunk. And I also had like some of these other shorts in here. Some have done extremely well. Like this one got 2.2 million views, right? So at least for my game and for the audience for Lured In, definitely short form content is far superior. I don't think full video content is worth it. I did do one devlog here, but it didn't do particularly well or anything. It's still going up. I mean, this is the thing about full videos versus short form, is that they've got legs. They keep going for many days. Like I post a short and it's over in like 2 days, but this video keeps getting people watching. So, you know, it's fine. Maybe it'll do really well all of a sudden. YouTube is a little bit of a lottery sometimes, but I'll never call Twitter X. That's fair. That's fair. The blue check mark, that's just if you just pay. It's not even like being verified. You just have to pay money. It's just X premium or whatever, I think. That's kind of stupid. How much time does it take away from your average dev day? To edit a short, for me, it's usually about an hour to 2 hours. It really depends on how long the short is or how complicated or how much footage I already have recorded. The most time-consuming part is really just recording the footage for, you know, the game. That's the hardest part. But the actual editing is pretty straightforward, at least for me. And of course, like I'm going into this already having made many YouTube videos and stuff before, so it's not like it's gonna be that easy for everybody. But yeah, it's not too bad. The full devlogs are very time consuming, though, I will be honest. I mean, those take me a long time. So those can take like 5 hours or more. It's hard. Because you've got to like record with the camera and everything. I don't know if they're worth it yet. I probably will post a couple more full devlogs though, and just kind of see how things go. But yeah, marketing is hard. Marketing is extremely time consuming. I spend so much time marketing. It sucks. Like I wish I could just work on the game, you know, and that would be fun. That's the part that I enjoy, but it doesn't get wish lists, you know? That's the ultimate. It's unfortunate, but when it comes down to it, that's the only thing that really matters. At least to regular people just randomly seeing your game. All right, we got a new fish in the game. Let's go take a look at him. The X Premium, your replies have a higher chance of being shown before others. Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. I think the whole monetization of a social media or like the pay to win, like making X pay to win is really stupid. Maybe I would have a better, like my post would do better if I was paying for premium, but it's stupid. And a lot of this stuff I don't care about. You know? I could get a premium business. I am a business. That's probably extremely expensive. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, no. Oh boy. This is the thing that sucks about business stuff, is that it's freaking expensive. So you do get a free ad credit, but it doesn't mean anything when you are paying $10,000 a year. Or wait, is that? Oh yeah, that would be per year. For some businesses, it's probably worth it, but for me. But yeah, I think if you're looking to market your game, the best thing that you can do is just experiment, you know? Try doing a devlog or try doing a YouTube short and just see how people react to your content, you know? Because it's really like, it's not a good idea to just assume something will work and others won't. Like, you really need to actually verify. Like, I can't just be like, I mean, even though I like X doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work for anyone. There's a lot of people that post on X all the time and the game and it goes well for them and they get lots of wish lists. But I just can't seem to make it work for Lured In. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work. So it's really just about experimenting. I would try Reddit, try X, try TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of the different platforms, and just see what works. I think at the end of the day, what's also really important is making sure it's sustainable, that you can keep posting stuff consistently, you know? So that's another big thing. Yeah, what about TikToks? Whenever I make a short on YouTube, I also post the same videos to TikTok and over to Instagram. So, yeah, because there's no reason not to. Definitely always do that if you're making videos. You're wasting time if you're wasting free views if you're not posting to the other platforms. Some of these videos on here do really well. Like this one did pretty well, I think. Yeah, 1 million views, so that's pretty good. This is why you should post to other platforms, because you never know when they might just randomly blow up, right? That's 1 million people that have looked at my game that I wouldn't have got otherwise. So yeah, my pipeline is I make a short, I post to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok the same video. Because they're all different audiences. Odds are if you use one platform, you're not using the other. You know? So, I mean, maybe there's more cross between like YouTube and the other ones, but like typically people have their platform that they focus on and use that one. So, definitely. But yeah, TikTok I found doesn't do ever particularly well. Sometimes videos on here can do well. Like this one did pretty good. The one where I was talking about accessibility. And also this one, the color blindness one. I don't know why it does so well, but... And this one also did really cool, really good here too. I don't know why. Right? It's just so random. But overall, TikTok seems to be the most difficult platform to get views for me on. And here's the other thing that's funny too, is like, I did short form content for Starground and they didn't do very well at all. So it just depends on the kind of game. You just have to see what works for your game, you know? There's no like universal marketing strategy where it's just like, this is how every game should be marketed. You just have to find out the best route to take things. So yeah, anyways. Hopefully that helps though. Where's my, oh yeah, he's not in here because I put him in the tank. Okay. Let's see. It's a game about finding a space. Welcome in. All right, looks great, man. I'm making a creature collector in Godot, so it's always nice to see other styles. Thank you. I appreciate it, yeah. How do publishers work? You tell them what your project is, how they decide how much they charge you. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It really varies a lot depending on the publisher and what you need from them. But essentially, they're a resource, you know, for developers. They can offer things that you need. Like some publishers specialize in stuff like localization or porting, you know, pushing the game on a mobile or console or whatever. Typically, those kinds of publishers take a very large cut. Normally, publishers are the one that determine the cut. They're like, okay, your game looks cool. We'd like to publish with you. Here is how much of a percent we get from your profits. It's always usually a percentage. You never do like an upfront payment unless you're doing like called like a shadow publisher where you can like hire a publisher to help you for a limited amount of time, but they don't actually like publish your game. They're just helping you publish your own game. But normally it's like, we will take 50% of your money and become your publisher. That's typically how it works. So, yeah, it varies so much. There's publishers that don't offer any initial funding, and typically in that case, they take a smaller percent. But if you do require funding and marketing and porting and localization, all that stuff, they're going to take a big cut of your game. Probably, you know, 50% or more, I think, is apparently pretty common in the industry. So it is a lot of money. That's why I don't know if publishers are really ultra worth it unless you know what you need from a publisher, and it's a very valuable thing for you, right? So like, if you really need marketing and you have no ability to market on your own, then a publisher can be fine, but you have to remember that they're going to take like more than half of your profits. So you should only sign with a publisher if you're confident you'll end up making more than double of what you would without them, right? That's kind of it really just comes down to a simple calculation of profits, right? Will I make more money with or without a publisher? So yeah, it's not always a percent of the revenue, but like 90% of the time it always is. It's like the standard. So sometimes they'll do like a thing where they give you an advance payment. So they're like, we'll give you $50,000, but then we get the first $50,000 of profit from your game. So it's sort of like getting a loan without any interest, you know? You get like a little bit of money initially to fund development, but then you sort of have to pay that money back to your publisher. That's an advance payment. So it can be helpful for some people that need funding to make their games. For me, I don't need any funding. So far, Lurden has cost me $0. So, you know. But yeah, some people do though. I guess just to pay people for things. This is the nice thing about like being a jack of all trades, is I don't have to hire people to do stuff for me. Like if I need to make assets, you know, or if I need to make like store page art, I can just do it myself. I don't need to go pay somebody $500 on Fiverr. I can just like do it. You know, like all the art for Lurden, I did all this. Would it have been better if I hired a professional? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm saving a bunch of money, so it's fine. But yeah. But it's not bad to hire people, that's for sure. Totally can. If you think you'll end up making more money by hiring somebody, then it's worth it, right? But yeah, publishers are a whole thing. I'd say just in general, don't get a publisher. Unless you actually understand what you need from a publisher. I should hydrate. Right? So like if you're going into developing a game and you're like, I have an inability to market and there's no way I'm going to be able to market at all, then maybe look at a publisher. But if you feel like you can tackle those things, then it's always going to be better without a publisher. I think there's like this common misconception that it's impossible to make a game unless you go into it with a publisher or have somebody marketing it for you. but it's pretty possible to just solo publish, you know. But yeah, I don't know. It's always hard to say. Everything with like business like this is you have to weigh the pros and cons, right? There's never a right or wrong answer. It just depends on a billion different factors. Like, do you need funding? Do you need marketing? Do you need localization? Do you need to port your game? You know, so many things. Also, one of the things that I would avoid with publishers is publishers that take your IP rights. I wouldn't do that. I think it's very good to retain your own IP. Luckily, a lot of good publishers out there let you keep the IP, which is good. But some might not, so be careful about that. What qualifies a project for a publisher to give you 50,000? Like hype? It really just depends. I think a big part of it is track record. If, like, on the publisher side, they're looking for people that can make them money, right? So they have to be confident if they're going to fund you that it's likely your game will at least make up that 50,000 for them. So they probably look at like your history on Steam, like how many games have you launched, how many reviews do those games have, because then they can kind of run their own calculations of, you know, on average, what is your average earnings from a game. And I think that's a big thing for publishers where it's like, oh, this guy's made a game that got 1,000 reviews or whatever, so we feel confident that he can do it again. Otherwise, you can definitely like show that the game is received well by people. If you already have a lot of wish lists built up, that's like a very easy thing to be like, I have 20,000 wish lists, and then they're like, oh yeah, sure, take my money, right? And just general, like, yeah, wish lists are really the metric for hype of a game, right? That's what it is. Like, if you can say, I have X number of wish lists, that is their metric that they use to know how successful your game is going to be. Wish lists are not always accurate, but they are a very good indicator, at least. You know, if you're asking for $50,000 and your game only has like 500 wish lists, they're gonna say no. But if you're asking for $50,000 and your game has like upwards of 10,000 or more, then that becomes more of an interesting decision for a publisher. Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. Hey, David Huffman, welcome in. How's it going? Let's go add this in here. Miranda fish to the pond. Okay. A little bit. Tried to get that 2 times. Come on. There we go. What are your thoughts on starting with your concepts, making visuals, maybe even AI generate stuff, make content about these concepts and see what lands before starting development? So I probably wouldn't AI generate stuff. I mean, I never do. I don't even use AI for like writing stuff or even coming up with ideas. I don't know. The problem with AI is that it is trained off of pre-existing stuff. So if you ask it to come up with original stuff, it's not actually coming up with anything original. It's saying, okay, I have this database of games that already exist. Let's just take all of the stuff from all the games. And to be fair, developers do that all the time. It's not always a bad thing, but I think it's best to avoid that, in my opinion. But if people want to use it, I don't care, whatever. But yeah, I think it's always really important to come up with lots of ideas for games. People don't spend enough time on the idea of their project before they get into development. I mean, you don't want to spend a million years. Like, you don't want to spend 2 years coming up with just one idea because that's going to be doomed to fail. You want to strike a nice balance between creating a concept and testing it, like creating a prototype version that people can play test, right? Because that also helps you kind of shape the idea, right? Like, for example, one of the things that was very helpful about playtesting Deadlift, right, which is the other game I have working on in the background, It's like a horror game. I realized all the problems with the idea of the game. And I didn't spend like a ton of time getting super deep into the idea yet, so it was fine. I had still had room to kind of course correct. So that's always really important. Make sure that you are verifying ideas. Like, don't just assume anything. But yeah, definitely you should spend a lot of time. Like, I have this whole section over here on my Miro board, just a bunch of different game ideas, right? Not all of these are very good ideas or anything, but just random stuff that has popped into my head over time. Like, I just thought of, like, it'd be cool if you were like a scientist guy and you went to Antarctica, and it's like a little horror game. Or this one where you like dive down and have to do things underwater. Or a game like Insane Aquarium, like OS horror game. I don't know, just like random ideas. Multiplayer driving game, Decorum. Some of these are more fleshed out than others. This one would be like sort of like a puzzle building game. Balatro meets Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. So, but yeah, there's a lot of like, I would recommend doing something like this, like keeping an area where you generate ideas and write down your ideas. Because then when it comes time for the next game I'm going to work on, I mean, the next one's probably going to be finishing Starground and then Deadlift. But I have a repository of things that I can look at and be like, okay, I want a new idea. I've already written down 50 different ideas. Now I can just go through and pick the one I like the most. And that increases your chances of success, I think. Because you can kind of ignore the bad ones and only pick the very top best ideas. You just end up with a better project, I think. Diving game sounds like Dave the Diver. It wouldn't be like diving like that, like scuba diving. It'd be more like it would be a 3D game first off. Probably like PSX style kind of thing. You'd be like running your own like it's not like scuba diving. It's more of like there's like things that you have to do, like retrieve a thing or welding. I haven't played Dave the Diver, so maybe all those things are in Dave the Diver. But as far as I know, Dave the Diver is like a fishing diving game. But the vibe I was kind of thinking with this was like Chernobyl Liquidators. This kind of like style I thought was always really cool, where it's like super like, I don't know. It's like, this game is very interesting. It is a very scary game, but it's not scary because there's like monsters or anything. It's just because you're in a scary environment. And I feel like that's sort of like a horror element that isn't used enough. I'll talk about this once the ads are over. I don't want to like spit out some bangers and nobody can hear what I'm saying. What about testing concepts before making prototypes? So that's yeah, I mean, it's pretty difficult. You can definitely check with people. You know, you could like drop like, here is 10 different game concepts and be like, which one do you guys think is the best? You know, so that can work. Though definitely gameplay is the most important thing. So I think get good at making prototypes. That will really help you be able to test ideas faster. Prototypes don't have to be very pretty. They just have to be able to emulate your core gameplay loop and give people a sense of what a full game might feel like, right? So you can use, like, you can create like some kind of character controller that you can just reuse in all your different prototypes and like kind of make the process easy for yourself. But definitely prototyping is important, sure. But yeah, you can kind of start to test ideas before you actually develop them. It's tricky though, because you have to be really good at art. You know, you really have to visually represent, like if you're gonna ask people what they think about an idea, don't just drop them a paragraph of text and be like, read this and let me know what you think. Nobody's gonna read it. People just want to look at an image or play something or take the easy way out. So you have to be able to draw stuff. Unless you go the AI route, but I wouldn't recommend it. I think it gives people a bad impression. So ads are over. I am sorry about the ads, everybody. So, anyways, what I was saying, I feel like a very underutilized aspect of horror is like just ambient horror like this, where you've got like, you don't have like any scary guys after you or anything like supernatural. It's just like you're just in a like, this is a real place, like a real situation that happened. And I think that kind of is a bit scary. Knowing that what you're doing is like a real thing in the real world is kind of scary to me. But that's kind of the idea of like this, where like it wouldn't be all cute and cozy like Dave the Diver. Like it would be the reality of diving. Like you're in deep sea pressures and it is scary down there and dark, and one mishap will kill you. So, but anyways, yeah, just a bunch of random stuff here. Would have been adding this stream. I've been working on a bunch of different stuff. We added in like different backgrounds for rarity on fish. So if you're playing a mini game and you're about to catch a rare fish, it changes the background to look like the rare fish background. So we can be like, okay, this is a common fish, and then if we can get a rare fish, we'll try. It's stormy, so oh, you saw the backgrounds, okay. I was just working on a couple new fish. We just added in a goldfish guy, this guy. So what I'm sort of doing so far is like balancing out the types of fish that we have in the game. We have a lot of common fish, but it's really hard to find rare fish, and there's only like one or two. So I'm going through a lot of these regions and adding in more. I am going to kind of switch gears a little bit and go clean up the translation stuff, you know, import the new translation sheets. And probably release this update. It's about time. Yeah, I don't know what other things we want to work on for this update. I don't want to take on too much. I think it's always that thing of like you've got to call it somewhere when an update is ready to be released, you know? It's always very hard for me to decide when that point is, because there's like so many things I have on my mind where I'm like, I want to do this and this and this, but then I don't have an update out for a million years, so. When was the last update? Let's go look. I've been posting them on the demo page. The last update for Lured In was... Oh, it just goes to the main page? It's confusing how Steam does that. I think it's in here, though. It'll show, like, in... Maybe? How come I can't see where that post is? I'm gonna have to go into my dashboard and see it there. Hold on. Maybe I do just post on the main page now. Nope, that's the wrong page. There's my stats in the demo, guys. What am I thinking? Oh yeah, manage announcements or whatever. Where is that? Can I not announce on demo pages anymore? Did they just make that change? Whoa. Okay. That's actually a good thing, thank God. It was always really confusing, like, where are you allowed to post stuff to? So I guess my announcements on the demo are just gone. Huh. Fascinating. Oh, do I still have links for them, though? On here? I think I do. I can still get to them. Unless they're broken. Let's go find out. Where did updates? Oh. Oh, I put that one on the playtest. What version are we on already? I need to open up the demo and see. If you ever need a 3D artist for a 3D game, would be super down. Love to work with you. Yeah, can work for fun or food sometimes. Yeah, that is always like the thing. I always really appreciate when people are like, I'd love to help with stuff. And it's cool. And, you know, it's very epic. I appreciate it when people help with stuff. But it's also like, the thing is too, it's like, I don't have money to pay people for their help, right? But I mean, if you're just interested in helping just for the credit of helping, you're more than welcome to. I can totally, oh, 4.2 was in the demo announcement. Okay. So yeah, it's been a long time since a demo update, or just any update in general, so I apologize, guys. But it's okay. We'll now post the new update. But that is very fascinating that I can't post to the demo page anymore. So I guess, can I post to the playtest page? Okay, so I can post to the playtest page, but not the demo page, which is extremely strange. Now that the playtest is deactivated, I'm only going to post to the main page then. Yo, what's up, Season? It's more like Chip Lames. No, it's funny, dude. Yeah, what's going on? How's it going? Yeah, I mean, Two Socks, if you want to, like, send me over some examples of stuff that you've done before, you're totally welcome to. I'd be happy to check it out. That's the other thing, too, is I don't want to, I want to make sure that, like, if I am getting help from people, that they can help. Just depends on the visual style and stuff. Yeah, it'd be really cool. So, I do have a lot of 3D stuff I'll be working on in the future, so, like, yeah. Oh yeah, and someone said they put a thing showcase. There you go. It's pretty crazy. Are these taken with oh, this is Robert. Like a they're recording the screen. Okay. Pretty interesting. And there's guns. That's fascinating. Oh, it's in Sandbox? Interesting. Lamb, I already played that game. Pretty fun. MC server. Uh oh, Freya and I have big propellers. We've broken the pack. Interesting. Yeah, I'll look at that later. There's always new updates coming out for the pack, so it's possible that we'll just see the new update come out soon. We'll update to the new update if it is actually broken. Let's see if there is a new update really quick, just for fun. Versions. Nope, not yet. But that was only 2 days ago, so could be any second. Yeah, they added Create Deep Seas, so we get to build submarines. It's gonna be really fun. I actually am kind of excited to make a submarine. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so what else do we want to work on? Oh, I swapped it. Let's look at my sheet of things that I've been meaning to do. So, yeah, I really need to organize this better. Just like to do. And I have priority, back burner, right? So priority is for next update, back burner whenever. So back burner, there's going to be a lot of things. depth specific fish, weather specific fish, fish silhouettes, water depth, animals and insects, and snag lines. That is all gonna be on the back burner. That is now done. Yeah, added catch rarity backgrounds. Show whether a new fish was caught. Add more rare fish is done. Increase initial fishing time. I'm not going to do that anymore because now we have the things that kind of do that. More research. More ascension. Ability to rotate decorations. Be cool. I did add in the thunderstorm. This will show, like, if you catch a fish, that it's a new fish. I would like to do that. I don't know what's going on with the flash there. I already figured that out. Reeling speed match your cast distance. I did that one. Oh, yeah. Google that stuff. Fix key for data reset. What does that mean? I don't know what I mean by that. Dang it. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes, where I put down a thing and I can't remember what it means. That's why I usually try and be kind of more, like, very descriptive with stuff, if it's not super obvious. Fix key for data reset. The key that you press for data reset? Oh, the translation key? Probably what it means. Did I already do that? Let's try something with a high translation rate Chinese. Oh yeah, it's not translating for some reason. Did I put right click closes menu in there? I think I did. Let me just go make sure. Okay, so why is that not working? So let's go look at that. Warning, all data will be reset permanently. Right here. And it's because I believe I have those two things as separate stuff. Let's go look at what I have here. I think I will have one in here that says warning. Key liquid warning. Oh yeah, I need to do that. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple things here. So I'm gonna say UI pop-up menu set text is equal to this. It's gonna be warning. And I'm going to replace that with just this and say format 0 is TR warning. And then I'm going to add UI manager.popup menu.set text plus equals TR key liquid warning. I think that should be it. Oh, not key liquid warning. Whoops. Then this one is just old data will be reset permanently. Let's see if this one works. Let's see, set text. Alright, so I saved all that stuff, so that's on pressed. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, okay, so we fixed that one. Very good. Send some stuff to Art and Discord. Let's go. I'll check that out in a minute. Go to changelog. Fixed multiple translation errors. And then we got to do the same thing for the liquid, which I don't think we're doing. It's right here. We got to kind of copy this one now. That one actually works. We're doing format warning and key ascend. Okay. Let's see, ascension. This one, liquid type. The warning. And then we have to say plus equals tr key liquid warning. Oh, only day 2 and people are already fighting the wither. Yeah, this always happens with public servers like this. Immediately stuff starts going insane, you know? Alright, so this should now properly translate the warning whenever you're about to move fish out of your tank. So if we go to like a saltwater tank and then we go click on this to move them, it'll do the warning properly. Very nice. Just fixing those things wherever I can is always good. I'm pretty sure I added the Stormy key in here. Yes, I did. It's already a few languages. Okay. And also I added increases event chance by 50% too. Any shop stuff not translating, that's all good. It's going to be all the new fish in here that aren't going to be translating yet. Just because I haven't updated the translations. Otherwise everything looks pretty okay. It makes it so... I need to fix that one. Did I never add it? Oh, yeah, I might not have. Let me see. Let me see what keys I have here. Have you done the rest of the font? Yeah, it is every... Well, I'm never going to be able to do every symbol, but I've gotten quite a few of them done. So the tutorial keys, key feedback, key fish snack, key food boost active, key liquid warning, key get ready. So this just isn't in here yet. Let's go ahead and add it. Key makes it so pots collect creatures while offline. All right, that has been added. So hopefully it gets updated. But yeah, with the font, like there's a way too many characters in some of the different languages. Like I'll never be able to ever do all of the different characters in something like Chinese or Japanese or something, because there's just like a billion different characters. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Unless I set up some program to like procedurally generate all the keys, which is possible, but I don't know. Oh yeah, that's the beetle guy or whatever. He's adding the new fish in here, right? Oh yeah, there's the oarfish. Where is the fish? Is the pond guy here? Oh, that is the pond guy. Okay. So good. Back to English. You can read. Talk. Interesting. Alright, we'll fix a couple of those bugs. That's good. Oh, man, I'm so tired, guys. I barely got any sleep last night. I mean, that's why. I had to get up early to start my whole smoking process, so. But yeah, let's go look at your art. Whoa. These are very epic. Got a car. Nice. Very cool. Character. Very nice. Another car. I'm assuming this is all in Blender. Well, let's see, I can tell. Yeah, it's Blender. Cyberpunk City. Yeah, vending machine. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. How'd you go about like doing the texturing here? Did you actually like go through and manually paint the textures on here? If you're still in here. We had synergies. Maybe if you have a combination of fish, they give boosts. Yeah, I definitely want to explore that. I talked about it in one of the shorts I did. I think having like set bonuses would be really neat for all the different fish. So, Substance Painter. Okay, okay. I've never messed with Substance Painter. I want to figure out. I would like to get better at drawing textures and like creating them like that. I just don't know how. But it costs money, right? Is there an alternative to Substance Painter? What is the alternative? Well, this is 4 years ago. Armor paint. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to use any Adobe products anymore. I'm done. There's Material Maker. I don't know if you're able to actually paint textures with this, though. But this is actually made in Godot. I think it's, as far as I knew... Oh, it does have a texture painting tool. Okay. Well, I should freaking use Material Maker, then. I don't even know where I have it. I just get a new version of it. Is it still that same version? It was... Oh, it's coming out July 14th on Steam, so... Yeah. Well, this would be really cool, then. I want to figure out how to texture paint more, because you can get some really interesting looking stuff. See, that vending machine could be a Borderlands asset. It totally could be, yeah. Looks pretty good. Welcome in. I don't know what happened. I was able to buy Substance on Steam when it was on there. So for me, it's like a one-time purchase, but I get no updates. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I really want to mess with this. This could be cool. One thing that's also great about this program, since it's made in Godot, they have extremely convenient export options for Godot. You can just export it as a standard material, which is freaking sick. So, 5 weeks. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I don't know if it's going to cost any money yet. I have no idea. I mean, I think it's free. There might be like a how credit does it, where credit costs money on Steam. Probably. Oh no, it's gonna be extremely cheap. Like you look at something like Krita, and on Steam it's like $10 or something. But also Krita is open source and free. You don't actually have to buy it on Steam. Like if you just go into Krita's website, you can just download it. But getting it on Steam means you get like automatic free updates and stuff like that. So that's the reason you would get it on Steam. Also like cloud saving and stuff. It's just convenient, but it's not required. Because Krita is open source, and I thought that Material Maker was, but maybe it's not. I don't know. The source code for Material Maker is on GitHub. Yeah, it's open source. So Material Maker is MIT licensed, so you don't have to ever buy it. And even if it's going to be on Steam, it's going to be like $5 or something. So, but yeah, it's cool. This is why I like open source programs, because it doesn't cost money. You can just download stuff for free, and it's cheap and easy. That's why Godot is awesome, because it's free. They don't ever take cuts of your earnings. You can just get all the stuff for free forever. So, but yeah, this looks really cool. So you can do, you have like a whole brush thing on the side. So you can like create your textures in here, like procedural textures, and then go through and paint them in, which is really cool. That's what I want, honestly, because sometimes it's hard to make things look realistic or just look good when you just have one procedural texture. So doing something like this would be really nice. And it's got layers and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I mean, we can use it now. I can just download it. But... oh yeah, it's on itch. I have messed with it before, so I don't remember when. Okay. Excuse me, 49 days ago from 1.6. I think that's a new version. Hopefully they improved performance. I'm sure that they did. Vertical tabs. Graph view, a bunch of stuff. Nodes. Did a bunch of things. Aperture nodes. Weird. Bug fixes. A bunch of things. Yeah. Excited to get it on Steam though. Made by Rodzilla. Stuff. But yeah, I mean, we could totally do stuff if you're interested in modeling. And one option too, like if we went down the route of just a whole new game concept, there's also like profit splitting. So it just depends on what you'd be interested in. But yeah, that's one of the things I think for me that's like sometimes limiting. Is like the modeling can be very time consuming for me, because if I'm having to do modeling and the sound and the programming and all the stuff on top of everything, it becomes kind of difficult. But yeah, I can hit you up though tonight. Can you explain to me what a memory leak is? So basically a memory leak is when you have some piece of code that is not freeing memory. So like, let's say for example in Godot, I can create a memory leak, right? Oh yeah, I was looking at this. Very epic looking vending machine. So I could set up some code that keeps adding in nodes or something. And if I'm not like freeing those nodes, then that's a memory leak, because you're basically creating something that is supposed to be deleted to free memory, but it's not being freed. And so you're like leaking memory. It keeps like happening in the background, and you keep getting more and more memory used up and not being freed, and that's when you have memory leaks. So it's not a very common thing on modern programming languages, but like if you're using something like C or C++ where you have to manually free your memory, that's where memory leaks become like a big concern. Because with pointers and stuff in C++, they do not close until you write in free or whatever to get rid of the pointer and free the memory, right? Java does that automatically, which is why memory leaks are not really a thing on Java. That's called the Java garbage collector, right? Basically, it does like a pass, and it automatically determines whether things are still being used. So if you lose like a reference to something completely, Java will automatically clean it up for you. And I think it's the same way with Godot also, unless you still have a reference to something, or like a node does have to be freed. So if you add a bunch of nodes and never free your nodes, you're gonna leak memory and yeah, bad time. But I think for a lot of like things in Godot, it does automatically free. Normally objects are not included with like garbage collection, right? So, but like strings and all this stuff, that's always going to be cleaned up with garbage collection. Same in Godot. Like if you completely nullify reference to a dictionary, Godot will automatically free the memory that was used to create that dictionary. So, hey, Steven, welcome in. Yeah, Material Maker's cool. I've used it before. Yeah, I messed with it a little bit in the past. It does seem really interesting. So it's just logs piling up. It's not necessarily logs. It's like, so whenever you have like a variable or an object, right? So if I say var dictionary is this, right? And I have some data in here, my computer will have to reserve some RAM, you know, some memory to create this reference, right? So it stores a reference to this dictionary, bonk, throws it inside of your stick of RAM so that the program can access it and like retain it and keep it there. So if you keep adding things into your RAM over and over and over, and you're never removing things from the RAM, that's what is called a memory leak, right? It's not like leaking. It's kind of a weird word, but doesn't give a good vision of what it actually means. But yeah, code looping itself is not really a memory leak. That's more of like a stack overflow. If you have like a recursive function that never gets terminated, what can happen with that is you hit the limit of stacks. So when you're processing stuff, programs usually have like a limit on how many times you can loop through stuff. You might already know this, but I'm just gonna explain it anyways for anyone else. But you have the stack. Whenever you call a function or do anything, it throws that operation onto the stack, right? So let's say that you have a recursive function that calls itself. So let's say I have function Bob, and Bob calls Bob, right? So I call Bob, Bob calls Bob, Bob calls Bob. So you get like these nested function calls. If you hit the limit of your stack, you hit like, it's usually like you can do like 1,000 iterations before it all falls apart. If you go over that limit, then you have a stack overflow, and that's kind of a different error. It's not the same as a memory leak. That's also the name of the funny website where you ask for programming help. Are you gonna head to sleep now? Well, bed sounds good. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. But yeah, memory leaking is a little bit different. Yeah, basically it's just not managing your memory usage properly, right? Where you've got like objects that you no longer have access to, right? So let's say I do this. Like, let's say that we were in C++ and it doesn't automatically remove this dictionary. So I define my dictionary, let's say in ready, I say dictionary is equal to null, right? Normally in Godot, it does automatic garbage collection freeing for you. So it'll be like, oh, this dictionary no longer has a reference. I am going to remove it from the RAM. But in something like C++, where that is not automatic and there's no garbage collection, if I set this to null, this is now still going to be sitting in the RAM, but I have no way to access it. So now it's like a leak, you know? It's leaked out of everything. It's inaccessible, but it's still sitting there and taking up space in your RAM, right? So normally in C++, what you would have to do is first, if you want to set that variable back to null, you want to say dictionary.free to clear the memory, and then you set it to null. Because otherwise, the program's not going to automatically do it for you. Hopefully that makes sense. You have this like secret data inside of your memory that just takes up a bunch of space for no reason. And I've had some times where I've had memory leaks in Godot. It's possible. You know, if you're creating like a bunch of nodes, or like, let's say, for example, a really common case of a memory leak in Godot. Let's say you have a particle that plays. So let's go into, I have this, right, already. So when I destroy an object, let's just load up the game and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I am creating a node to play an effect and a sound, right? And I've been very good about avoiding memory leaks, to be honest. I haven't really had any big ones with Lurden. So if I go ahead and play, so let's say that I delete one of these objects, and when I delete it, it creates a node that does that little dust particle and plays the sound, right? So I press the delete button, I call add child, I instantiate a node, and I add it into the world. Normally what should happen is you should delete that node after it's done doing what it did, right? So like if we look at like a timeline or something here, you've got like, boom, the moment where decoration was deleted, right? Blah, blah, blah. In between here, the node plays its sound, right? Sound happens, whatever, particle emitter happens. And it should, at the end, free itself and delete the node, because now it's just an invisible node that's not doing anything, right? So you would call Q free. Q free. Like that. But sometimes people accidentally forget to not call Q free. And so now this node is just going to sit in memory forever while your game is open and just take up space and processing time. So that's a very common memory leak in Godot. You got to be careful to actually free everything when you're done. Specifically with nodes, right? But anyways, hopefully that's all helpful. Yeah. Unfortunately, I do have to end stream now. I know we didn't go for quite as long today, but I gotta go get working on all my stuff. I've got these burnt ends I've been smoking all day. But anyways, let's go find somebody to raid, shall we? Yeah, we got, I think the demo's pretty much at a solid state. Yeah, the demo. Oh, stop talking. I just wanted to get that last couple things implemented first. So now we're good. Streaming. We go raid them. Hopefully I'm saying their name right. We got ads, but by the time we raid it should be fine. I just gotta fix the translations, or just update the translation stuff. I might need to add in Korean and a couple other languages that are now translated, but otherwise then we should be good to go. So yeah, let's go raid Fyra. But yeah, thank you gamers for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll be live again tomorrow, 3:30 MDT. Working more on Lurden, probably. Unless we play Minecraft or something, we'll see. But yeah, look out for a ping for the new update. Feel free to wishlist Lurden. Join the Discord if you want. I'll play on the Minecraft server if you want. There's info on that on the Discord server. All right, we're gonna go start the raid. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming into the stream. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.